Welcome back everyone to the Railroad Challenge, where today we are going to begin our build across the swamp. At the beginning it looks like we've got some semi-solid land at least, and a number of nearby trees which we are going to need to harvest because we want to be able to have as much oak as we possibly can as we work on this. Well, we'll worry about that later, right? Right. Ah, actually, there you go. Now we head off across here. I'm going to try to actually stay on 0 as much as possible, which the last couple of times I scouted this, I was not worried about doing all that much, and I never got an actual count of what I need to do. Okay, I could take down a couple of trees along the way. Good. So it's mostly trees and solid ground for now until we get to here. This is where we actually have to cross the water. And the question is where we're going to be. I'm pretty sure that we are going to be on solid land by the time I actually hit to 512 because I have scouted this out in the past. But this is where I'm actually going to have to build my full causeway that I was planning. So that's the major bit there. So we start out reasonably solid land, of course, taking down a few trees, but that's not going to be a problem because I'm going to need the wood anyways. Good. And down here, now when we're here, now we have this little bit of a hill. Well, this is going to, well, first off, having a tree right there looks just completely silly, so let's get rid of that one. Good. And we'll probably have to fill that in a little. Okay, here's our spot right here. So this is where the when vines do that, really goes yikes. So this is where we're going to go up to, and we're at 66. We went up by a couple. Here's the question: should I go up or should I just flatten out this area? Because this isn't exactly the most solid ground that's under it anyway, so I may just decide to flatten it down, but let's see what's after it so I can make that decision properly. This does go up a little bit. We have all sorts of... Ooh, a tunnel. Because it may prove to be a nice source of iron, so I want to be able to check these things out, and I want to check it out as soon as possible before too many things spawn down here. Let's... Oh, I have all but the right tools with me. I was doing some fishing earlier. Not that I caught anything of use. Well, I caught some fish, which is always... Having a little extra food won't hurt. I am hoping to find a mending book or something like that which could come in handy. Ah, okay, there's some iron right there, but first I want to... This is a reasonably good, well, I was going to say reasonably good cave system, but I think we just hit our end there. So I think I'll just harvest some iron and coal, and that should give us more materials to use in building our great rail line. Oh my, look what I found! A zombie spawner! Woo! Oh! I thought I heard a couple of zombies around here somewhere. Alright, now let's see if I got anything useful in here. Alright, now that's done. Let's see, bread and gunpowder. String. Can't argue with some string. Ooh, another golden apple. Bucket. Can't argue with the bucket too much. I might as well take the wheat. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Another set of diamond armor, just in case I get a second horse. Ooh, well, let's just grab it all anyway. But I can't grab everything. Now I have to decide if I want to do anything with this. That'll be an interesting question. I better leave myself... Oh yeah, I used up all my torches getting here. Let's see, anything here I can... Oh, I don't need the rotten flesh. Now, we already have a zombie spawner. A zombie killing system way down on the other line. The question is, could we use a second one? And if so, well, it might be just as a reason for the stop, perhaps. Let's see, this is here, here. Alright, this goes to the line right here. Okay, good. Now, of course, there is no stop here. This isn't at a stop. This is at a medial point. This is 100 from a stop that direction and another 120 in that direction. So it won't be an ideal place to build a zombie spawner from the point of view of the lore. But I might find some other excuse. I extended the roof a little bit, and the point for the next support is right before we head down to where we're going to encounter some water. What I'm going to do then is make this the point where we start to go into crossing this little section of swamp mode. And why that's important is because we are going to have some cobblestone here, sort of act as a little bit of drainage on the side, I guess. We'll see. So I'll get rid of that. Good. Actually, no, not cobble. No, I was thinking of having some stairs here, but I reconsidered the matter because when we actually do this, what's the best way of doing that? All right. Oops. No, we don't want that there. What we want is this and this. I saved the squid by hitting it. How about that? Well, that's rather an interesting take on it. Because the idea then is I'm going to extend it out. That way we have a place for the fences to go on. So it'll be 5 wide when we do it here. Go out like this. Now, we do have the question of what do we do when we are on the... Because we do have the water here, so we are actually going to have add some supports on top of this. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we're going to have 1, 2, 3. Our next powered rail. I will say that we are going to have our supports, essentially that. No. Have it just on the... Oh. Ah. Well, oh, I still have that bucket that I picked up at the... in that chest. Good. Wait, I can... Now we're going to have the water going in right there. You guys insist on killing yourselves, don't you? Fine. Actually, it looks like it died just before I did that. Now we go back into here. We want to make sure that we have some nice, good, solid support. So therefore the two ends are going to be that way. I'm not... Actually... You know, earlier I had stairs. How about if I put them right here? Now that should be right, properly waterlogged, right? Good. So if you have some waterlogged, okay, there we won't have room because we've got the dirt there. But I figure whenever we put this there, we have something solid there, and then we have the stairs there. And the idea is that we'll have a central area where things could flow in and out. The idea is not to block off all the area as I'm doing it. So let's head back down and continue with this as we go all the way across. And it looks like that you have no trouble getting all the way down to the end here. Just, oops, oh, that went, oops, a little bit further than I needed to. You could just put that back in there and might as well restore that lily pad that we broke. There you go. Alright, that's all done. That means I'll be able to bring out my I'll be able to bring down my fences and have them come down and everything will be nice and comfy. I still have to do the undersides here, but that shouldn't be too difficult. There you have it. So I want to make sure that there is a means to get under there. So I have to see if I could swim under here. Well, I don't see a means under here. Ah, there it is. Our means under the bridge. Oh well. I tried. Now, we've got this going all the way down to here. Now that means that we have to see this section right here. I think we should just plow through. I don't think it's worth going up that little bit and then going down again. It's when you get to the latter parts where we stay up for a while where I have to do this. But this is, yeah, way too short. So let's chop that down. There you go, much better. And I also managed to extend the line, got the lanterns up, everything except for the fences. I still have a few more of those to go. And we're continuing along. Ooh, I'm getting pretty close now to the second and more important of the two sections where I have to cross the water. As I was building all of that, I thought of an idea of what I could do with the zombie spawner. How about if I make an AFK farm? I haven't made one of those yet this season for zombies, and I thought this would be nice to it. It's a nice high one, which means I could do a simple drop farm where everything drops down to the bottom and is taken to a place and placed in chests from there. I could probably then have everything then brought into a water elevator to bring it up and into a chest or however many I need, and that could give me a nice supply of zombie flesh. I could use that to get emeralds and trade with various villagers all throughout this world. Now I do want to know what the best place to access it through would be. I could, for example, come out through here, but it might be a good idea for me to carve out an opening going out this way down to the station down in that direction. That might be a quicker way there. A safer way there might be a better way of putting it, because if I have an AFK farm, means I'm going to be in here through all times of day and night, and I want to make sure things are going to be safe for me as I do that. So I'm thinking of a good place in which I could have parked through there. So I want to go and check my paths to see where's the best way to get here. I decided to start at one of the mine areas near the station and dug all the way down here, and I found this little bit of cobble. I don't know if this is cobble I created or... well, it looks like it must be what it looks, because that looks like... yeah. As soon as I saw the mossy there, I'm pretty sure I have found it. Alright. Good. That means I have a nice quick path to and fro here. I'll widen this corridor and all the like, but first I want to make sure I know where I am going with all of this. Now that means that if I'm going to be coming here to and fro, I'll just block that off so I don't go into that way until I have a safe entrance in which to come in and out. There you go, but one zombie. It'd be nice if it were a skelly spawner, but you can't have everything, I suppose. Now, what next? I think it'd be best to save this for the next episode and come up with a good idea for killing the zombies, collecting all the loot, and maybe creating a huge number of chests so that I could collect it in an AFK session. I'm trying to think if I've ever built an AFK farm in a single player world. Now, I know I've done it plenty of times in a multiplayer world. Well, I have to think on it. But anyway, see, nice and easy to get here. I'll probably just turn this corridor into something that's easier to navigate and not get lost. And in fact, I'll just do that to make sure that I don't go way too far and say, hey, where did I go? The water is starting right here, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I think this is going to be a good place to start expanding it because that's where we're going to have our next section there. So we have 1, 2, 4, 6, and I think that will mean that we'll just have it there. And this is where we are going to start. Oh, perfect, just after that. Over on that side, and that's about to go away. So, yeah, I think that's the perfect place in which to start there. But I think going across that waterway there is something that we're going to save for the next episode. But actually not the next episode, for the episode after that, because in our next episode we are going to work a little bit on that AFK zombie spawner. But until then, this is Pilot Noodles for the Minecraft Railroad Challenge.